Okay. Assalamu alaikum. How you doing? You right? You good? Just tell us a bit about yourself.
So my name is Sayyid Haamid al-Husseini. I called brother Mohammed Hijab and challenged him to a formal debate, which he respectfully refused, and I respect his reason.
Yeah.
Instead, he invited me to come here today.
Which alhamdulillah, you respectfully accepted.
Yeah.
So that, I'm happy with that. Yep.
Yeah. So my proposal is that if you are able to answer my questions, then I'm happy to declare right now and become Sunni. Why? Because these points are what make me a Shia.
Okay.
So if you're able
before
to
you start,
this,
I mean, just to give the people like kind of.
Before, sorry. If I could kindly request that everyone please remain silent while we debate, so that we could fully understand each other, inshallah, and we keep a very nice and friendly discussion, inshallah.
I was just going to interject and just say that, from my understanding, because when you did call me,
Yes.
you got my number from the previous debater that I was debating, and it seemed like what you were trying to do is, obviously he debated me on imam, right? And I feel like there may be a feeling of, okay, there's something more to say, yeah? And you have the feeling, okay, there's maybe, not to say anything, that he was deficient in his response. He did a really, really good job, Yusuf, considering the circumstances and considering what he had to work with. But you're saying that, okay, now, on this issue of imam, you have something to add?
Yeah, my questions were not answered in those two previous debates that you had.
That's fine, that's fine.
So if you could help me answer this question, because for me, following the sunnah of the Prophet is what makes me Shia. So if you could show me that that's not the case, then
that's fine. I mean, what I think from my side, just to give you the feedback from kind of like the Sunni side, the mainstream Orthodox Sunni side, I feel like a lot of, and if you look at the comments on kind of my video and stuff like that, you'll realize that a lot of people felt like the questions that we put forward as Sunnis were not answered by the Shia interlocutor.
Yes,
so I think that maybe you'd agree with that.
Yes.
So this will be a good opportunity if it's good for both of us. So if you feel like there's unanswered questions from your side, I can answer. And if we feel like there's unanswered questions on our side, you can answer.
Yeah, perhaps we could do that as well, inshallah.
Okay.
So I'd like to begin with my first question. And that is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran says, obey Allah and the Messenger and those with authority among you. So, and also he says that your Lord creates and chooses whomever he pleases. It is not for them to choose.
These are two separate verses, yeah? So the one that you're talking about here is chapter 4, verse 57 or 54, I can't remember.
Chapter 4, verse 59, the
59,
first one.
okay.
And the second is,
يا أيها الذين آمنوا أطيعوا الله وأطيعوا الرسول وأولي الأمر منكم فإن تنازعتم في شيء فردوه إلى الله والرسول. Okay, so let's just, sorry, just before we continue, because it's important that they get the kind of context.
Sure.
The verse in its entirety says, O you who believe, chapter 4, verse 59, O you who believe, obey Allah and obey the Messenger and those in command of you.
Yes.
So if you differ upon something, then bring it back to Allah and His Messenger.
Exactly. Yeah. So for me, it's very clear that Khilafah is included in this authority that Allah is commanding, to obey Allah and the Messenger and those with authority.
So is this your, so just to quickly ask a question, is this your way of proving the imamah?
No, I'm just establishing first that it is very clear from the Quran that there has to be a Khalifa. Why? Because there are people in authority after the Prophet that we have to obey, and this is agreed with
what's your
all
definition
Muslims.
of Khalifa?
Khalifa, the one who, if you obey him, you obey Allah, and if you disobey him, you disobey Allah.
So you mean like an Amir, or you can call him an...
Yeah,
so
like
you're talking,
we say it's Abu Bakr, and we say, for example, we think
just a leader, any leader?
Yeah, the Khalifa, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So, and also
when you say the Khalifa, you're talking about a person in charge of the whole Muslim empire.
Yeah, the person who's in charge of Islam after the Prophet, that you obey him, you obey Allah, and you disobey him, you disobey Allah. He's the divine authority after the Prophet.
Is it one person or is it a range of people? Because in the verse says, وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنْكُمْ, this is Jama'.
Yes.
So which means it's a plural entity.
Yeah,
so
but there's only one after the Prophet, and then after that one there's another one. And
that's not something within the Quranic discourse.
No, that's fine. But the verse proves that there are people in authority among us.
That's right. I would accept that. Yes. Yeah.
And Allah says also that your Lord creates and chooses whom He pleases. To choose is not theirs. So it is not for the people to choose.
Which chapter is this?
This is chapter 28, verse 68.
Okay.
So anything good for the Ummah, Allah is the one who chooses it, and so obviously Khilafah is a good thing, right? Khilafah of the Prophet. So Allah chooses that as well according to this. So
but here that's not what the verse is saying. So that's your interpretation of the verse. It's very well, okay, that's fine. But can I just request you to do something, yeah? Because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks in the Quran, it's very important that we respect what He's actually saying. And it's it's not within our own capacities to kind of superimpose meanings. Here
Fine.
we're not doing tafsir of the Quran.
Fine.
If you wanna do istidlal or bringing a verse from the Quran to prove a point, you have to kind of leave it as it is.
No, I'm not trying to prove much. All I'm saying is that there is a divine authority that we have to follow, and Allah has chosen this, right?
Okay, but that's
so now the question comes.
This is an assertion, though.
The question, and the question is this: that for us, we see, if forget Sunni Shia divide, anyone who reads the Quran objectively, let's suppose it's, I don't know, a Christian or whoever, they look at the Quran and they see that throughout history, since Adam until MashaAllah, every single divine authority was chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, whether it's a prophet, whether it's a messenger,
that's good,
whether it's a wasi of a prophet or messenger,
I like that.
whether it's an imam, whether it's a khalifa, and even a divine king. So for example, إِنِّي جَعَلُكَ لِلنَّاسِ إِمَامًا وَجَعَلْنَاهُمْ أَئِمَّةً twice, وَنَجْعَلَهُمْ الْأَئِمَّةِ. So all of these are saying Allah chose the imams. And then we have إِنِّي جَعَلُ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. Yeah, obviously those are not divine authority.
The imams that lead to the hellfire.
أحسنتم.
So I don't know.
As for khulafa, Allah says, إِنِّي جَعَلٌ فِي الْأَرْضِ خَلِيفَةً. I am appointing on the earth a khalifa. And Ya Dawood, إِنَّا جَعَلْنَاكَ خَلِيفَةً فِي الْأَرْضِ. We have appointed you a khalifa on the earth.
So can I ask you?
Hold on, let me articulate the question. Thank you.
Yes.
We see even non-prophets, so like a divine king. إن الله قد بعث لكم طالوت ملكا. Allah has appointed what is it? Saul? Talut as a king. They objected. They said, why should he have kingdom over us while he hasn't been given abundance of wealth and we are more rightful? And he said, what was the response? إن الله اصطفاه عليكم. Allah has chosen him over you. So you don't have the right to object. Or so sounds we good. See sounds objectively good. Every single instance where there's any divine authority, Allah has chosen them. So we see this as a sunnah of Allah on the earth. And وَلَن تَجِدَ لِسُنَّةِ اللَّهِ تَبْدِيلًا وَلَن تَجِدَ لِسُنَّةِ اللَّهِ تَحْوِيلًا. You will never find a deviation in the sunnah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the challenge is, and the question is this: we see in the Quran, since Adam until the Day of Judgment, or until at least we agree until Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every divine authority is chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and there's no disagreement between any parties about this. So we say this is a sunnah of Allah and it should continue. And all we need to do is find any hadith that proves that there is a khalifa after the Prophet, and that's very clear for us. But Haamid, yes.
Haamid, you have been talking for a while now. Do you mind if I come back and ask you?
I'm just finishing the question. My question to you is, can you prove to me where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran or in one case in history where Allah told the people, you choose your own leader, you elect your own leader and he will be the divine authority? How did we go about changing from the sunnah of Allah in history, that every single authority was appointed by Allah, to a case where now we choose our own leader? Where is the evidence for that? One verse or one narration?
Okay, so it's interesting that you started with points of agreement, which I'm really happy that you've done so. So for example, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Dawood, يا داود إن جعلناك خليفة في الأرض فاحكم بين الناس ولا تتبع الهوى. He says that, we have chosen you as a khalifa on the earth. So, فاحكم بين الناس. So do hukm and rule upon the people and don't follow your desires. Now this is a verse which is what you call sarih, qat'i. It's absolutely clear for all to see. So for anyone to now reject this verse will be to reject the obvious. Now, clearly here now, this is the point I made to the interlocutor before, and I want to make it again. That really when we're talking about imama, when we're talking about the imama of 12 individuals who are divinely chosen.
We're not talking about 12 individuals.
Do you mind if I continue speaking? Because I did let you finish. I didn't interrupt you.
We're not going about the 12.
Okay, but here now you're interrupting me.
Fine.
Okay, so it has to be kind of give and take, right? Because I did leave you to the end. What I'm saying is that the Shia position is that you have something called wilaya. You have 12 individuals, all of which have superpowers.
I'm not talking about the Shia.
No, I know you're not talking about it, but this is your Shia, so I want to ask you directly. I mean, we keep asking people.
I'm asking you.
It's okay, I'll ask you.
Show me one case in history that Allah let people choose.
Should we time it?
Do you want to time it? Would you like to time it? Because I haven't interrupted you.
Sure, fine. You can continue.
Because I know this is a very... Look, I'm not going to try and put you on the spot here, okay? But what I'm going to say is I know this question has no answer. That's why you don't want me to ask it. This question is basically, just in the same way, you quoted verse in the Quran talking about Dawood being a khalifa on the earth, being a leader of the earth. I want just one verse similar to that says Ali is the same. Okay, and if you do that, I'll accept it.
So hold on.
It's finished.
You're answering me with another question, yeah?
Yes,
You're not answering
yes.
my question.
So what is your question exactly?
My question was, show me one case in history where Allah said to the people, you choose your divine leader.
This is not the issue that you've spoken to me on the phone. You said you wanted to prove imamah.
This is imamah. Khilafah of Rasulullah
So
is the imamah.
I'm just giving you your platform now. You have a chance to the Sunnis and to people watching at home, even non-Sunnis, non-Muslims, to prove, look, Bunya al-Islam ala khamsati asha'in, in the hadith of your hadith, Islam was built upon 5 things, the Shia hadith. Iqam as-salah wa ita' az-zakah, salah and zakah, etc. I'm just finishing. And all these things, and then, well, wilaya means imamah means the 12 individuals who we have to follow as a matter of religion that are more important than the Prophet except for the Prophet Muhammad.
So if
my question is, you're saying to me I have to follow 12 individuals who are divinely chosen by Allah. Okay, can you tell me where in the Quran it tells me to do that so I can do it? If not, I follow the Quran and I follow the Sunnah. So here, what I'm saying to you is that these khamsati ashiya'in that is referred to in the hadith of the Shia is not to be found in the Quran. The 4 can be found, the 4 things which are part of the Shahada, part of the 5 pillars, but the 5th thing, which is the whole thing about wilayah,
so would you like me to answer? Promise me, if I answer you, are you going to try and answer my question? Because you just responded with a question.
I've been trying to answer your question.
You have not answered.
So what's your?
I asked you for one reference in history,
yes,
where Allah told people, you choose your leader.
This is not the mountain of ikhtilaf. By the way,
this is the mountain of
let me tell you why.
Was he appointed or is he elected?
Who?
The Khalifa of the Prophet.
Let me tell you, there's actually a difference of opinion within the Sunni school of thought on that.
Exactly, so there is ikhtilaf.
Yeah, ikhtilaf within Sunnis. I mean, if you tell me here today,
yes,
if you made your point, okay, that actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who has to choose and divinely elect.
That's what we say.
Yeah, fine. Khalas. If you say Allah he's the one who chooses and divinely elects leaders after the Prophet Muhammad, I say fine. I'm willing to concede on that point. It's not a problem. It's not really necessarily a big problem. Yeah, the majority of Sunnis, they'll say that it was a matter of shura or consultation.
So you accept that it is by
I don't see that this is a problem.
No. Do you say it is election after the Prophet, the Khalifa of the Prophet? Is he chosen by elections?
There's a difference
or by appointment?
in regards to the Sunni school of thought, because I'm here trying to obviously give you
your opinion. I'm talking.
My opinion doesn't matter, my friend. Seriously, who am I and who are you? Like, let's be honest. The people here are not talking about me. I'm just telling you, the Sunni school of thought with the scholastic tradition, there are 2 main opinions. One of them is the majority opinion, which is that there was an election after the Prophet Muhammad to decide who is the Khalifa, who's to be in charge. Another one is very similar to the Shia opinion, which is you can be a Sunni and believe in this. I mean, there's not a problem.
Yeah, fine, exactly. So there is a point of discussion on here.
Absolutely, I don't disagree with the fact that you can. Okay. I don't disagree with this. Okay. That's why I'm saying the issue really isn't, that okay, Allah had to choose the leader. I'm saying, okay, even if you believe that, where did he choose Ali as the leader, the infallible one that we have to follow, like, the Prophet?
You've been talking now, right?
Yeah, of course, yes. No, but I've answered your question, yes?
No.
No?
Okay. The question was, show me one case in history.
No, but why do I have to if I don't disagree with you?
Show us one case in history where the people were told to choose their divine leader.
But I'm telling you that I don't necessarily. I'm telling you
we have the opposite actually. Okay. We have the opposite. But
you're flogging a dead horse.
You spoke, right?
You're flogging a dead horse.
You spoke, yeah. Let's keep it civil and respectful.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Okay. So we have the opposite in the Quran. Allah, their Prophet told them, Allah has appointed Talut as your king. They opposed.
Okay, let's agree.
You don't have the right to oppose because Allah has chosen him. That's it. And Allah has Allah has chosen him over you. You don't have the right to.
I don't disagree.
Okay, fine. So now the question is, as we see the Sunnah of Allah throughout history, since Adam until MashaAllah, every single one was appointed by Allah.
Yes.
Please give us one case.
I'm telling you that I don't need to do that.
Let me articulate the question. One case or one hadith that the people choose their divine leader.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
You don't have one, do you?
I'm telling you, I don't necessarily completely disagree with you. So why do you have to?
You're being very vague. You're being very vague. You're evading the question. You're evading the question very nicely. You're, mashallah, a professional debater. You invited me here. This is your comfort zone. You're going very well. But please answer the question. If you want to convince me to become Sunni, you have to answer me this question. My question is, the Sunnah of Allah on earth is He appoints. So if you say no, the people choose, then you need to show me one case.
Did I say that? Did I say there was consensus among Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah that the people choose? If this was my position, you can attack it.
So what is your position?
But my position is that there is a difference of opinion. You can still be a Sunni and believe that it was divine election. Therefore, this is not the mountain of ikhtilaf.
How can it be divine election?
Allah chooses, like you said.
That's not divine election. That's a
sorry, divine choice. Yes,
okay,
divine.
Right,
so this is what I'm saying. What you're doing here is you're bringing a red herring. And in logic, let me tell you in logic what a red herring is.
No, we don't need to. Just answer the question, bro. Did Allah ever allow people to choose their leader?
I think I've answered this question 3 or 4 times.
So
have I answered the question?
No, I don't think so.
I think people.
I don't think so.
I'm saying to you that the Sunnis.
You're saying both could be true, right?
I'm saying
so
both
can I respond to that?
I'm saying you could be right.
Okay, you can be right.
I mean, you're speaking to
now,
me as if I should disagree with you. You're forcing me to disagree with you.
Here's the problem for me.
On issues where there doesn't need to be disagreement.
Here's the problem. You could say both could be correct, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So it could be correct that the people choose their leader, but we don't have any evidence in history ever for this.
Okay, so
and that's what happened in Saqifa where they chose Abu Bakr.
Okay, you're still talking here
hold on.
Tangential issues. Let's deal with the crux. Where's the 12 Imams in the Quran?
See, you're evading the question. Now you're asking.
No, I've answered your question. That's why you've come here.
I will answer your question. I promise you. But please resolve me this problem.
Let's say for the argument's sake.
No. Please.
You're right. Let me answer. You're right. There's no example.
Right? You've been speaking. You're not letting me speak.
Should we time it?
You're not. Yeah, exactly. I'm sure if you time it, he's been talking twice as much. He's been talking twice as much. All right. Listen, bro. You say both could be right. Both could be correct. It could be. Can I ask for silence, please, from the audience?
Okay,
you're saying both could be.
3 minutes, yeah?
You're saying both could be right. It could be elections, even though we have no case in history for divine authority being elected ever, not even a single case. Or it could be appointment. So here's the problem for me. If you say it was appointment, then Abu Bakr's Khilafah is illegitimate. Why? Because he was elected at Saqifa. If you say it was elections, then Umar's Khilafah is illegitimate because he was appointed by Abu Bakr. So which one should I accept? To you.
Are you stopping? You have 2 more minutes.
Yeah, let him answer.
Okay, fine.
Alright, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Basically here, I've already espoused this point. Yes, there is a difference of opinion within the Sunnis themselves of whether it's divine election, divine appointment or election. He's asked me to put one situation where there's election. There were appointments, there were elections according to Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. You don't accept our hadith. So
where is it?
It's time now, so I've given you your time. Can I give you? For example, when Uthman al-Affan was being elected, and he was being elected.
No, you're not allowed to interrupt.
Okay,
it's his
fine.
time, brother.
Fine. All right, you finish now.
You have to respect his time.
Fine.
So when Uthman al-Affan was being elected, so Majmu'ah min al-Sahaba, they came together and they elected Uthman al-Affan over Ali ibn Abi Talib. That happened. That was part of history. You've asked me to bring one evidence. So with this, from a Sunni perspective, since we have this information, there is evidence to suggest that election is in fact divinely ordained. And in fact, it's in the Quran, in Surah Al-Shura, chapter 42 of the Quran, it says, and consultation, and the situation or the affair is consultation among them. So there is Quranic precedence to this whole idea of election. However, if you say, no, but I'm not completely convinced, and it has to be divine appointment, I'll say, listen, you make a point. There's some Sunnis that made the same point as you do. This is not the thing that differentiates you from being a Sunni or a Shia. You can be a Sunni and believe in the divine election. It's not a problem. What I'm saying is that the thing that differentiates you from being a Sunni or a Shia is the fact that we completely reject the idea that there are 12 Imams or divinely appointed.
We're not talking about that.
No, we are talking about that. You've come here to speak about that.
Khalifa,
so you have
there's 1 more minute.
I've got a minute left. So I'm just. The thing is, bro, what you said to me on the phone is that and you said it today. You said that there are questions answered. The brother Yusuf couldn't answer them. Every time I ask a Shia about the 12 Imams in the Quran, there is not time to answer that question. But you have to ask me all the questions. We're not talking about that. Why not? Why not? This is the difference between Sunnis and Shias. Why aren't we talking about that? We really should be talking about that. You should convince me that your 12 Imams, starting from Ali ibn Abi Talib, ending with Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari, it's going to fall. Ending with Muhammad ibn Hassan al-Askari, these individuals, that all of them are not only divinely appointed, but they have isma, which means that they're infallible, that they have potential to know everything as per the hadith or the bab of the hadith in Al-Kafi. No, excuse me, hold on, let me finish. I haven't finished yet. That they have potential to know everything. They have potential to know everything. As in the bab, there's a chapter heading in Al-Kafi, which is their most authoritative book. They have potential to know as much as Allah. According to Al-Kafi, according to Al-Kulaini, and I can bring it. Yes, of course. Yeah. It says in Al-Kafi, I'll show it now. It says in Al-Kafi, a bab in Al-Kafi, which means a chapter heading. It says Al-Kulaini said that إذا شاءوا باب إذا شاء الإمام أن يعلم فليعلم or something like that. إذا شاء الإمام أن يعلم فليعلم. If the Imam wants to know anything, he will know it. So he has potential for all knowledge, which means that the Imam can reach the same knowledge as Allah. Yeah. That's okay. So teach us why this is true.
All right.
Yes.
So it's very clear that you have not answered my question about a single. Sorry, you're interrupting me. we ask for a single case in history up to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not after. After we know they elected Abu Bakr, that's very clear. But the question was, if they elected Abu Bakr and it's by elections, then the problem for me is that the legitimacy of Umar comes under question, because he was appointed, he was not elected according to ijma' of Muslimin. And as for Uthman, he was chosen by 5 people. That's not ijma' of the ummah. Umar said, these 5 people or 6 people, this council that you call shura, if they disagree and they don't agree, kill them all. And if they have a dispute between them, then the one who Abdurrahman ibn Auf chooses will be the Khalifa. So it's very, this is not a shura as... Sorry?
7.
6, 7, it doesn't matter. In any case, Abdurrahman ibn Auf. So can I ask not to interrupt you? So my problem is this: if you say elections, the legitimacy of Umar is under question. If you say it is appointment, the legitimacy of Uthman, if you say it's elections, as well as Abu Bakr, comes under question. So which one? You have to choose one. Okay. Now I'm going to answer your question about Imamah. You're saying all your Shias, you don't answer about the Imamah. I'm going to tell you very clearly. Okay. For us, Imamah, as it is for you, and Khilafah, is who is the representative of Allah and His Messenger after the Prophet. This is the Khalifa of Rasulullah. Okay. In terms of being infallible, that's not even a requirement for Shia Islam. Okay. In terms of having knowledge, I will tell you, of course, for us, we believe that a divine leader must have the necessary knowledge to guide people. Otherwise, how can he be a guide? Okay? If he's not given the knowledge needed, for example, he doesn't know a fiqh ruling, let's say, and there's a problem, how is he meant to resolve it? And he's the leader of the Muslim. Of course, Allah has to give him the knowledge. No one ever claimed that he has knowledge which is equal to Allah. We believe that they are slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Anything they have comes from Allah. And it's funny that you would say that, because in your Sahih Bukhari, Umar puts himself above Allah. Okay? He says, I thought of 3 things and Allah agreed with me. In Sahih Muslim. Okay? وَافَقَنِي رَبِّي فِي ثَلَاث. You could Google it, guys. And if you want, when we upload it, I could put a link under the video with references of anything. So don't come at us. Don't throw stones if your house is made of glass. Umar says, I thought of 3 things and Allah in His infinite knowledge didn't know. When I thought of it, He said, this is what Umar said, this is correct, this is the one. So don't attack us about knowledge of the Imam, that he needs to guide people. Okay? For us, Imamah is very clear. We see history of Islam, history of all religions. Every single divine leader was appointed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we say the same thing about the first Khalifa, and we have many sources, as you very well know, that we can prove that Imam Ali was the one selected by the Prophet and appointed for Khilafah. And I'm asking you to resolve this contradiction. If it is Abu Bakr elections, Umar is illegitimate. If it's appointment, then Abu Bakr is illegitimate. Thank you. And yours in Sahih Muslim. Yeah, this is hujjah upon you. I don't accept it, but al-zimuhum. Let me ask you. He interrupted. He interrupted. I have to answer him. وَحَاجِجُوهُمْ بِمَا أَلْزَمُوا بِهِ أَنفُسَهُم. I don't accept that Umar is above Allah. La'udhu billah. Okay? But it's in your Sahih Muslim. It's hujjah upon you. It's not hujjah upon you.
I think, to be honest with you, let's just be completely honest. The points you've made now show that you're academically disingenuous. I think this is the point. People are going to be listening to this. Any Sunni, right-minded Sunni is going to be listening to this. He's not going to be thinking, oh, look, he really gave a good point. They just would think this guy, he's clearly got ghil in his heart for Umar ibn Khattab.
So now you know what's in my heart. So now you have
This is time. He's clearly got some kind of resentment to Umar ibn Khattab, to the extent where he says that we believe, or as mentioned in Sahih Bukhari, that Umar said that I'm above Allah. Sahih Muslim, Sahih Bukhari, whatever it is, that وَافَقَنِي رَبِّنِي فِي ثَلَاث. It means that Umar ibn Khattab says that I have knowledge that Allah didn't have, or that I'm higher than Allah. This is not the translation. وَافَقَنِي رَبِّنِي فِي ثَلَاث. In Arabic, it means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He agreed with me in 3 different things. So in other words, what he's trying to say is that when Umar ibn Khattab, he had the idea that, for example, hijab. He had the idea of hijab. And then the ayat of hijab came down Surah Nur and it came down Surah Al-Ahzab. So he thought about it, and then afterwards the revelation came down in a later period. So in other words, his fitrah, and subhanAllah, this is the irony, his fitrah, his predisposition was so clear that he was able to kind of understand some of the legal rulings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would later enforce and put into place before it has been enforced and put into place. Now, if you think this is some kind of Umar ibn Khattab being put over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is ignorance of the highest degree. So you can keep that to yourself, it's not a problem. Having said that, here we're talking about the A'immah. You haven't answered the fact that you've got 12 divine authorities that have been that have been basically elected by Allah according to the Shia position.
Elected by Allah. That's
Okay, they're chosen by Allah according to the Shia position. And these 12 individuals they're infallible. They have the propensity and the ability to know all knowledge, which is the same as Allah, which would make them equals with Allah, which is shirk akbar yukhrij sahibahu min al-millah, which if anyone believes in, they will come out of Islam completely. That Imam can have the potential to know the same as Allah, that means that Allah and him have the same knowledge. That's what it means. Let's not beat around the bush. That's what your hadith says. So not only are they infallible, they have the potential for all knowledge, which is mentioned in the tabweeb, which means the chapter headings of the most authoritative muhaddith in the history of Shia Islam, which is Al-Kulayni, and his most authoritative book, which is called Al-Kafi, Usul Al-Kafi. This is mentioned. Why don't you?
You're referencing Can you prove the reference, please?
You have to. I've mentioned it in Arabic. You go and check it out.
Give me the reference.
So it says, إذا شاءوا الأئمة أن يعلموا فعلموا. So this is if the Imam wants to know anything, then let them. They will know it. Any knowledge that they want to know, they will know it. So they have the potential to know as much as Allah. This is what you're calling us to. 12 individuals who have this ability. Where is your evidence from the Quran and Sunnah, please?
Okay.
Give it to us.
My turn?
Yes.
First of all, I'm a bit offended that you called me disingenuous and that I have some hatred or something in my heart. I don't know, maybe you're giving yourself this knowledge from Allah as well. I don't know. But I'm not going to accuse you of anything. All I'm saying is, we say the Imam needs knowledge to guide people, as I explained. Allah will give that to them because that is necessary for the guidance of the Ummah. If the Imam doesn't know the rules, how is he meant to guide people? So you say this is ghulu and shirk, but Umar says something and Allah agrees with him, that's not shirk and ghulu. SubhanAllah, I don't know, you judge yourself who's being generous and not ingenuous, okay? I think I'm not very happy with how this went, but I'm just gonna, honestly, you haven't been able to answer my question. Please answer me this. If throughout the history of humankind until Prophet Muhammad we all accept that every single divine authority was chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, where then did people get legitimacy to elect Abu Bakr or Uthman? If you're saying it wasn't elections, it was appointment, okay, then Abu Bakr is under question. If you're saying it was elections, Uthman is under question. You have to resolve for me this contradiction. Now I have a challenge for you, and that is, if we prove to you from the Sunnah, from the Sahih of your books, and your ulama agree that these are Sahih, that the Prophet said, just as was the case in history since Adam, that I am appointing for you a Khalifa, and that is Imam Ali. Ali is your Khalifa. Would you accept? If you say no, then do not call yourself Sunnis after this, because you're saying, even if the Prophet told me Imam Ali is the Khalifa, I'm taking my time.
Sorry.
You're saying even if the Prophet said Imam Ali is the Khalifa, we're not going to accept, so don't call yourself Sunnis anymore. And this is the reason why I said in the beginning that it is the Sunnah that makes me follow Imam Ali as the first Khalifa, because we have a hadith in your books as well, in Sahih. Sorry, you're interrupting. So you're interrupting. Okay. We use narrations which both sides accept, or narrations that one side accept as hujjah upon them. Okay, please no more interruptions. Okay. Now we have a hadith, أنت مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى إلا أنك لست نبيا وأنت خليفتي في كل مؤمن من بعدي. Okay. Al-Dhahabi and Al-Hakim say this is correct according to the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim. For me this is very clear. You are my Khalifa after me. Ya Ali, after me, not after 40 years after Uthman. Not after 40 years after Uthman. You are my Khalifa after me. Sahih according to Bukhari and Muslim. Al-Mustadrak, Al-Dhahabi, Al-Hakim, Al-Albani says it's correct. Musnad Ahmad says it's correct. Al-Shawkani says it's correct. Ahmad Shakir says it's correct. Al-Haythami says it's correct. And I can put a link, as I said, with the references if you like. So my question to you is now, when the Prophet is telling you in your Sahih, okay, that Ali is my Khalifa after me, do you say we accept or do you say we reject? Thank you.
Fine, let me answer that question directly to start off with. I think that what you've actually quoted is different from what you've translated. And this is the problem with today's discussion, is that you find it, read it out again in the Arabic, please.
أنت مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى إلا أنك لست نبيا وأنت خليفتي في كل مؤمن من بعدي.
Okay, وأنت خليفتي في كل مؤمن من بعدي. Do you know what this discussion here, I mean, this is the disingenuity. Unfortunately, this is a problem with the academic discourse here. أنت خليفتي في كل مؤمن, yeah, or في كل مسلم. This juz'iyya from the hadith, it doesn't mean that you're Khalifa min ba'di. That's what he said. Khalifa min ba'di has never been uttered by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in any of the hadith, and I challenge you right now.
I just read it for you.
No. He said, "In anta khalifati fi kulli mu'min min ba'di."
Another one? Should I bring
No,
another
hold on.
Say
This is a different discussion here. Khalifati fi kulli mu'min. Khalifati fi kulli mu'min. It doesn't mean that you are my khalifa. You are a khalifa. You are my khalifa. Khalifati fi kulli mu'min.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay. Now this is. Hold on. That means to say. Sorry.
2 minutes.
Khalifati fi kulli mu'min min ba'di. First of all, and there is talk about this hadith with this alfaz, by the way. You've mentioned some of the people that apparently made it strong, but with this kind of syntax, there's a lot of talk about whether it's strong or not. Anyways, in the first place, there's a very similar hadith which can be found in Sahih Muslim. This is da'if, anyways. What you find in Sahih Muslim, hold on. This with this wording, it's been said to be da'if by the majority.
It's got his time, bro.
So anyways,
don't interrupt.
this is weak according to many of the scholars of hadith. Having said that, though, there is a hadith which is similar to it, which can be found in Sahih Muslim. Yeah, which talks about the idea of you are like Harun to me, like whatever. Yeah, this juz'iyah is sahih. This part of it is sahih. This part of it we don't reject. We say that just because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you want Ali ibn Abi Talib, you have to understand, yeah, Shia, we accept him as a very, very high authority. We love him for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We believe that following Ali ibn Abi Talib is like almost like following the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Why? Because the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us this. Why did he say this? He said in Musnad Ahmad, which answers your second question. He said in Musnad Ahmad, the hadith in Musnad Ahmad, "Alaykum bi sunnati wa sunnati al-khulafa ar-rashidin al-mahdiyyin min ba'di 'addu 'alayha bil nawajid." This hadith, it says that this hadith is not Muslim Ahmad, it's another book of hadith. It says that upon you is the sunnah of the khulafa ar-rashidin al-mahdiyyin. Who are they? In Musnad Ahmad is mentioned that it takes 30, they'll be there for 30 years. And then after this, ثُمَّ يَكُونَ مُلْكًا بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ. So if we add,
hujjah for you.
Excuse me, hold on. I'm talking about what's hujjah for me. What's hujjah for me is that when you look at 4.5 years of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, and then added 4.5 years of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, 10 years and 6 months of Umar al-Khattab, 11 years and 11 months of Uthman al-Affan, and then 4 years and 6 months of whatever it was of Ali ibn Abi Talib. These are and Hassan as well. If you add it all up, this is the Khulafa ar-Rashidin. So we have to follow those individuals. So whatever they come up, it's like we follow them because the Prophet told us to follow them. Do you get how it works for us? You understand?
Can I have my time?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Now, you said this is weak, this is da'if, and even if the Prophet said he's Khalifati, so what? You know,
Khalifati.
Khalifati, my Khalifa, right? Immediately after.
So
and you mentioned, please don't interrupt. You said in Sahih Muslim we have the hadith, and I accept. Yeah, we have the hadith as only part of it that you are onto me as Harun was onto Musa. So what is the status of Harun onto Musa? We see in the Quran, Musa says, "Ukhlufni fi qawmi," be my Khalifa among my people. So what is the position of Harun onto Musa in the Quran? You wanted Quranic evidence, right? In the Quran, Harun is the Khalifa of Musa. So if Musa, it doesn't matter, you might say, you come back and say, oh, Harun died first. It doesn't matter, we're talking about the position. What is the position? If Musa had died when he went to the mountain, who would have been his Khalifa? Harun, according to the Quran. Okay, you are onto me as Harun was onto Musa, except there's no prophet. If he meant that you are not also my Khalifa, Abu Bakr is he would have said, except there's no prophet, and you are not the first Khalifa, you are the fourth one, for example. So if I say, look, everything I own belongs to you except my house, okay, then the house is the only exception. If the car was meant to be also an exception, I would have said my house and my car, right? So this also proves to us from the Quran that Imam Ali is the Khalifa. And it's funny you mentioned this hadith is weak, because we have another wording for it as well. أما ترضى أن تكون مني بمنزلة هارون من موسى إلا أنك لست نبي إنه لا ينبغي أن أذهب إلا وأنت خليفتي. It is not proper that I should leave. This was in the Battle of Tabuk. He left Imam Ali in Medina. It's not proper that I should leave except as you as my Khalifa. إلا وأنت خليفتي. So if it's not proper for me to leave except as you as my Khalifa during my life, so by priority you have to be my Khalifa after my death. That makes perfect sense. And the word Khalifa is being used. Ya Nas, Ya Alam. Yani, if we want to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, the Sunnah of the Prophet is telling us, he's my Khalifati. And we have another place where he says Khalifa. This is 3 cases now. Okay? The first time ever the Prophet mentioned his prophethood to his close people, وَأَنذِرْ عَشِيرَتَكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ, and preached to your very close people. He brought them and he said, which one of you would support me to be akhi wa wasiyi wa khalifati? Imam Ali stood up. Sit down, Ya Ali. Again, which one wants to be my Khalifa? Imam Ali stands up. Sit down, Ali. Who wants to be my Khalifa? Imam Ali stands up. Ya Ali, Anta, inna hadha akhi wa wasiyi wa khalifati. Khalifati, since the first day. Okay? So who mentions this? This is mentioned in Tafsir al-Tabari and Tafsir ibn Kathir and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal in Fadail al-Sahaba. And in Tafsir al-Tabari, by the way, Ibn Taymiyyah, if you follow the Salaf, Ibn Taymiyyah says, وَتَفْسِيرُ الطَّبَرِي هُوَ مِنْ أَجَلِّ التَّفَاسِيرِ وَأَعْظَمُهَا. And he says it's the best one. Why? فإنه يذكر مقالات السلف بأسانيده الثابتة وليس فيه بدعة ولا ينقل عن المتهمين. He does not bring narrations from people. Hold on, let me just finish my sentence. He doesn't bring narrations from people of bid'ah or muttahamin. This is according to Ibn Taymiyyah. So according to Tabari, Imam Ali is the Khalifa.
Tabari, as according to Ibn Taymiyyah, you quoted him yourself in Usul al-Quran when he talks about basically the three things. He said the three things that have the most weak hadith in them. He said there are three things. He said the seerah, and he said tafsir is one of them, al-maghazi. Now these three things, obviously in Tafsir al-Tabari, everybody who knows how to open a tafsir book and understands the rules and regulations regarding it, Tafsir al-Tabari is filled with weak hadith and is filled with asatir al-awwaleen, is filled with fairy tales and all this kind of things. This is, you don't say subhanallah, this is me teaching you that which you don't know, because actually, no, hold on, excuse me. You've mentioned Ibn Taymiyyah, so now I'm giving you Ibn Taymiyyah in context, because you said Ibn Taymiyyah here. Yeah, Ibn Taymiyyah said that Tafsir al-Tabari is min ajal al-tafsir. He did say that, but you have to caveat that with the fact that he also said that tafsir, including al-Tabari's one, is filled with weak hadith. And this is what he said this in his book on tafsir, Ulum al-Quran. Yeah, he said that in that book. So having said that, now you have three things which, according to Tafsir, according to Ibn Taymiyyah, you mentioned, are weak. So the hadith that he's mentioning are weak from Tabari Tafsir, which is a book which is filled with weak hadith. So that's the point number one. Point number two, this is really interesting, wallahi. He's saying, now I understand his argument. Before I didn't understand it fully.
Okay.
Yes. Now I understand his argument. He said, he actually takes the word Khalifa here, meaning Khalifa as in the leader of the Muslims. So when the Prophet Muhammad, according to the weak hadith that he quoted, said, Anta Khalifati fil mu'mineen, you are my Khalifa in the mu'mineen, he thinks it's actually the Prophet Muhammad saying, you are my leader. Do you know how ridiculous this is? Because that's what it means. Anta Khalifati fil mu'mineen means you, excuse me, hold on. It means linguistically, if you take it as the word Khalifa here means the leader, then it means that he is saying, you are my leader. So Ali ibn Abi Talib, according to this man, if you take what he's saying literally, is the leader of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the truth. If you want to take what you're saying literally, that's why it's mustahil, muhal, aqlan. It's impossible from a aql perspective to take this Khalifa word there, even in the weak hadith, to mean that he's the leader. Because if you're saying anta khalifati, and this is milkiyah, al-ya al-milkiyah fi al-lugha al-arabiyyah, this is a possessive ya, which means you are my Khalifa, which means here that he believes that that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that to Ali ibn Abi Talib, you're my leader. What kind of nonsense is this? This is not Shiaism, this is ghulu, this is Alawiism. You're going to go into Alawiism. You're going to become like Bashar al-Assad and the rest of the Alawites. Now this is point number two. Point number three, you still have not been able to get me any verse of the Quran, one verse that tells us 12 imams that we have to follow. Get me something, my friend. You've been here for a long time. Your friend has tried it, your other friend has tried it. You're the third person I'm speaking to. Please give me one verse. I'm ready to become Shia. Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm ready to become Shia. Answer this question directly, because people are going to start doubting Shiaism and escaping from Shiaism. I'm telling you, just give me one verse from the Quran that talks about the 12 imams. Let's go.
We don't need to bring any verse from the Quran to prove our Imam. Why? Because every single Muslim believes that there has to be a Khalifa after the Prophet. This is a trap that you set up for our previous debaters. They didn't understand. There has to be a Khalifa by ijma' of all Muslimin. The only difference is, must he be appointed or elected?
Memo.
So asking us to bring an ayah from the Quran, I brought you وَأَطِيعُ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولُهُ وَأُولِي الْأَمْرِ مِنكُمْ, obey those with authority among you. You want to accept it or not, that's up to you, fine. But there's no question that there has to be a Khalifa after the Prophet. You're trying to run away from the question again. We're saying, is it by appointment or by election? Which one? If it's appointment, Abu Bakr's legitimacy is under question. If it is by elections, then Umar is under question. You have not still answered me this question, and you have not also answered me my challenge that I asked you first. Bring us one case in history where Allah told the people to choose their leader. Now, it's funny that you mentioned that Imam Ali is the Khalifa over the Prophet, and that is something which is laughable. No one has ever claimed that from our side, certainly not me.
Exactly.
Okay. My question is about the Khalifa after the Prophet. So if the Prophet is telling you he's my Khalifa and you're not accepting and you're trying to wriggle out of it, what more do you want the Prophet to do? And it's funny you mentioned that Tabari was weak, even though Ibn Taymiyyah says it's the best tafsir, fine, but you failed to answer the other hadith. وأنت خليفتي من بعدي ولا ينبغي أن أذهب إلا وأنت خليفتي. الذهبي and Al-Hakim say this is authentic according to the conditions of Sahih Bukhari and Muslim. Answer this one if you can. Don't tell me about Tabari. You doubt Tabari, fine. I brought you the second one. إلا وأنت خليفتي. إلا وأنت خليفتي. Okay, and if you have a doubt about the first and the second one, fine. I'll give you the third one. You're saying, oh, he might be Khalifa over me, fine. إني تارك فيكم الخليفتين. إني تارك فيكم خليفتين كتاب الله and then وعترتي أهل بيتي وإنهما لا يفترقا حتى يرد عليه الحوض. So the book of Allah and my Ahlul Bayt are my khulafa. Okay, there's no question here that the wives are not included because the wife can't be Khalifa, and Lady Fatima can't be included either because the lady can't be Khalifa. So who are the khulafa of Rasulullah? They are the Ahlul Bayt. Who are they? Ali, Hassan, Hussein. These are the khulafa of Rasulullah. And who said this is hadith al-sahih? Al-Albani says it's sahih. Okay, Ahmad ibn Hanbal says it's sahih. Shu'aib al-Arnaout says it's sahih. Al-Jami' al-Saghir al-Suyuti says it's sahih. Al-Alusi in his tafsir says it's sahih. Okay, enough is for us Al-Albani because he is one of your top scholars. You know him very well. And if you don't accept it, I'll put the references for the viewers who are genuinely seeking the truth. Brothers, if you claim to be Sunnis following the Sunnah of the Prophet, is this not part of the Sunnah of the Prophet? My khulafa, my Ahlul Bayt are my khulafa. Don't tell me it's the wives. Don't tell me it's the wives. Okay? Okay. And obviously, you've been evading the questions and you're trying to say I'm weak and you're avoiding the hadith which are sahih according to the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim and accusing us.
Now, the hadith of what he mentioned of the Khalifatain, this is a weak hadith. This is a weak hadith according to the majority of scholars of Islam. The one that is strong, which you could have quoted, which we accept, is تَرَكْتُ فِيكُمْ فِيمَا أَنْ تَمَسَّكْتُمْ بِهِ لَنْ تُضِلُّوا بَعْدِي أَبَدًا. That we have left behind that which if you hold on to them, you'll never go astray. Kitabullah, the book of Allah, and وَعِتْرَةِ أَهْلِ بَيْتِهِ. This is Sahih Muslim. Yeah. So this is a Sahih hadith which we accept, and the Ahlul Bayt are part of it. Now, what we do say is that we follow this hadith. We follow Ahlul Bayt. I mean, this is what we are claiming to be. Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah are not against Ahlul Bayt. This is the problem here. He's conflating two issues. Just like he did when he said you have the khulafa and then you have there's ijma' that there has to be a khalifa, and now so therefore this is not a multi niza'. This is not a problem of, it's not a ikhtilaf. There's no difference of opinion. Of course, this is your conflate. It's called conflation. When you're basically making an argument where you're equating the khalifa, which can be Malik Marwan or whatever, could be any person, could be the Ottoman ruler, could be anyone according to some. And the Imam, which are meant to be infallible, higher than prophets, except for the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, people that we have to follow as a matter of religion. And if we doubt them and if we reject them, then we will leave Islam completely. According to Al-Mufid, we're kuffar. What are you doing here, man? This is you're talking about the difference between Khalifa, a leader of the Muslims, who could be anybody, a Qurashi, anybody. Yeah, there's 9 conditions according to Mawardi and Al-Ahkam al-Sultaniyya. There's 9 conditions for a Khalifa. It could be anybody. That's a man and that's fulfills the criteria, whatever. And you're conflating this with the 12 imams who are divinely ordained, and you're trying to say that the evidences are one and the same. They're not one and the same. The evidences are not one and the same. We agree with the idea of khilafah. We don't agree with the idea of imamah. Imamah is the idea that you have 12 individuals, starting with Ali ibn Abi Talib and ending with Muhammad al-Hassan al-Askari, all of which are infallible, that they have the knowledge, the propensity to have all knowledge of creation, that they can have the same knowledge as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as per the chapter heading of Al-Kulaini in his book Al-Kafi, Usul Al-Kafi. This is what you're telling us to believe in. Let's not lie about it. Let's not do. I'm not saying accusing you of taqiyya, of concealing the truth. But here you have to be direct. You have to be direct and answer me. Where is the evidence for this? All you're giving me is evidence. You're trying to give me evidence that Ali was meant to be next in line. Even if we accept for the sake of argument, and we don't accept that. We do not accept that. But even if we accept for the sake of argument that Ali is meant to be next in line, we accept for the sake of argument, let's say. What has this got to do with the 12 imams? That we have to follow all 12 imams? This is not, you're conflating evidences. You're coming in here trying to prove imamah by giving me evidences of khilafah. This is embarrassing. You have to now prove imamah, which is one of your pillars of Islam. that the shahada is not mentioned in the hadith that talks about the 5 pillars, but imama is mentioned, wilaya is mentioned, and wilaya and imama are one of the same thing. You have to prove to me imama from the Quran, from the Sunnah, not khilafa. Khilafa, we agree. Stop flogging the dead horse. Go ahead, sir.
You yourself say imama and khilafa.
That's linguistic.
Yeah, go ahead.
You say imama and khilafa are the same thing. After the Prophet, you use the words interchangeably, okay? I'm talking to you here on a very specific subject, Khilafah after the Prophet. I'm not talking about 12 Imams. I never mentioned 12. You're talking about 12 Imams. That was not my question.
We should end this.
No, hold on, stop.
Because that means you're away from the
It's his time.
I don't want to continue.
Hold on.
It's his turn, please.
No, hold on. I'm going to end the discussion because
you're not telling him to stop, are you?
I'm going to stop this.
No. It's not your right to speak. It's not your right to speak right now. Let me finish my question. Answer in your own time.
No, but hey, I'm not speaking.
Be civil. Answer in your own time.
Are you talking about imam?
Be civil and answer in your own time.
So you're making the topic
khilafah. And answer in your own time.
Since when was the topic khilafah?
Be civil and answer in your own time.
You have to agree.
Be civil. See, you're not. I spoke about the Can I speak? Can I request everyone to be? I thought we had this. No. You're running away. You are running away.
I'm here.
I brought you a hadith correct from the tongue of the Prophet.
Okay, listen.
Correct according to your narration.
You called me and said I'm
to
going
the conditions of Sahih
Bukhari and Muslim
that Ali is my Khalifa and you're not accepting. And you're saying I brought you a hadith, Imam Ali is my Khalifa, and you're saying 12 Imams.
Excuse me.
We're not talking about the rest of them. We're not talking about. No. We're talking about
one clear answer.
This is your tactics. When you get held, you run away.
No one's running away from
It's an ad hominem attack. Even if I run away and I'm a coward.
Can I take my time? Answer at your own time. Answer at your own time.
Excuse me, you have cut him off from his
You set up time. Now you're breaking your own rules.
But you said imama.
Let me speak at my time. You're not letting me speak. You're not letting me speak. No. This is terrible.
Everybody be quiet, please.
Please let me speak. Answer at your own time.
Your time is gone.
First of all, it is a lie that Imams will have the same knowledge as Allah. Why? Because logic tells you Imam is a slave, limited, created. It's not in the hadith. You're saying this and I ask you to prove it. That's on you. There is no such thing. So it's against the logic.
So you
reject. Yeah, we reject, of course. A limited slave of Allah, cannot have the same knowledge as the infinite knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we don't say they are above Allah, like Umar says, I think of something and Allah accepts and he does what I thought. Now I have another
please, you
argument.
need to respect his time to talk.
No, but you know,
Nobody please cut him off from talking. It's his turn. Excuse me. He's talking because everyone's cutting him off.
No. You speak at your own
I'm
time.
trying to let everyone hear.
At your own time. At your own time. Ibn Taymiyyah, okay, says ولاية أمر الناس من أعظم واجبات الدين بل لا قيام للدين ولا للدنيا إلا بها. That ولاية to Amr nas, as in rulership over the people, is from the most important wajibat of the deen, that the deen and dunya cannot remain without it. Okay, and hence why Abu Bakr chose Umar, because he was very clever. He knew that this is so important. But the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who explained to us even how to eat and how to drink and how to sleep, forgot to mention anything about the most important thing that the whole religion stands upon. Is a very contradictory statement. We don't believe that. We believe the Prophet appointed Imam Ali, where in Ghadir Khum, for example, he says, أَلَسْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي أَوْلَى بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ مِنْ أَنفُسِهِمْ قَالُوا بَلَى. Do you not believe that I have more authority over the believers than themselves? They said yes. Why? Because Allah in the Quran, الرسول أولى من المؤمنين من أنفسهم. Then he repeated again. Okay, أَلَسْتُمْ تَعْلَمُونَ أَنِّي أَوْلَى بِكُلِّ مُؤْمِنٍ مِنْ نَفْسِهِ. They said yes, you have more authority over us than ourselves. And look at the tafsir, what Tabari and others say. They say this is like the mastery of a master over his slave and even more. Now what did he say after that? He took the hand of Ali. مَنْ كُنْتُ مَوْلَاهُ فَهَذَا عَلِيٌّ مَوْلَاهُ. So what does Mawla mean here? Don't tell me it's friend, because he just explained to us the context. You say Mawla has 40 different meanings. The Prophet just explained the context. He said Awla. Mawla here means Awla. Whoever I have more authority over him, then Ali has more authority over him. And where is this? This is Sahih ala shart al-Shaykhain. This is Sahih on the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim. And Albani corrects it. And Ahmad ibn Hanbal corrects it, and Arnaout also, except, and Omar came after and gave allegiance. He said,
no, still 20 seconds. He was disrupted.
I got interrupted. Okay, Omar came afterwards and said, هنيئا لك يا ابن أبي طالب أصبحت وأمسيت مولى كل مؤمن ومؤمنة. If he meant friend, why does he need to come and congratulate him? You become my friend. You were already my friend. Unless we were enemies and I don't know. Okay, so even Omar understood that this means Khilafah, and this part about Omar is mentioned in Ahmad Ibn Hanbal. Arnaout says is correct. Fadail al-Sahaba and Arnaout.
Go ahead.
In the beginning of this man, he called me and he said that he wants to discuss the issue of Imam with me. Yeah. So here, as you can see, as I was asking him questions about the 12 Imams in the Quran and elsewhere, he knew that there was no evidence for it, so he had to change the topic from Imamah to Khilafah, from a topic that all of us disagree on to a topic that there could be agreement on. We agree, for example, that there's Khilafah after the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. There's a disagreement within Sunni Islam, as I explained to him in the beginning, of whether it's divine appointment or election. So here, if you put your strongest argument forward and we still accept it, we would still be Sunni. So the idea of Khilafah is not a foundational issue, it's not an asli matter. That's why here, I didn't want to talk about it, because it's not something which differentiates Shia from Sunni. Point number one. Point number two about Ghadir Khum, as you were talking about, Man kuntu mawla fa Ali mawla. This hadith with this wording is not in Bukhari and Muslim. It's found in other books like Abu Dawood and other books. And this hadith, there's kalam on it. There is kalam on it. Even the nas of it, there's kalam on it. Ibn Hajar al-Haytami said it's weak, for example. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to say, no, it's not weak, because I believe, that the majority of scholars in this particular regard, like in Nawawi and others, do say it's strong. Okay, so let's take it. What is Man kuntu mawla fa Ali mawla? What does mawla mean? According to Lisan al-Arab, which is a book of as a marja, it's one of the biggest and most comprehensive Arabic dictionaries. Mawla, if you go back to what the word mawla means nasiruhu, someone who does nasr of someone, someone who basically helps someone who is beloved to someone else, someone who is a friend of someone else. The word itself has 11 different meanings. Linguistically, it actually means slave master. So if someone is a slave master. So how do we understand this hadith in context? Basically what happened is that there were some people of the Sahaba who had a run-in with Ali ibn Abi Talib. This run-in made some people of the Sahaba not like, they had some friction with him. So the Prophet, he went to Ghadir Khum, which is, by the way, a desolate area around 125 miles. 125 miles away from Medina, which is about 5 hours drive, or a 2-day with the steed, with the horse. You go there. He went there and he says, Man kuntu mawla fa Ali mawla. Whoever is my master, or is the one who does nasr of me, or the one who does sohbah of me, all these kind of things, then this Ali is the same thing. We don't disagree with that. Where does it say? Now, if you say this means Khalifa, this is the reality here. Listen to this. If you say this means Khalifa, that means to say, because he didn't say min ba'di or after me or anything like that, it means that there were two leaders. Because he said, Man kuntu mawla fa Ali mawla. Whoever was my master is, or whoever is my friend, whoever you want to translate it, my leader, let's say it's your translation, whoever is my leader, then Ali is his leader as well. So in other words, there were two leaders. And according to our hadith in both of our books, if you have two leaders, you have to kill the second one. So should we kill Ali ibn Abi Talib? So this is the point. The idea really is here, you're trying your best to squeeze a meaning and superimpose an understanding from a Ghadir Khum, which is actually your strongest argument, which you cannot actually do.
Okay, it seems that when Bani Israel killed 70 prophets in the same day, they were following that hadith, that if there's more than one prophet or leader, we have to kill them. Right? So if you doubt it now, you saying Mawla doesn't mean Khalifa, even though Omar gave allegiance. Omar understood it means Khalifa, but you don't. We brought you 3 different cases where the Prophet saying Khalifati, Khalifa, and you don't accept. Fine. Now let's ask Omar. Okay, what is the meaning of the word wali? Okay, Omar in Sahih Muslim, he says ثم توفى الله نبيه فقال أبو بكر أنا ولي رسول الله. The Prophet of Allah passed away. Abu Bakr said, I am the wali of Rasulullah. And then he said, فَكُنْتُ أَنَا وَلِيُّ أَبِي بَكْرٍ, and I am the wali of Abu Bakr. Please explain to me here how wali is not Khalifa. Abu Bakr wali of the Prophet, and I am the wali of Abu Bakr. Khalifa, there's no question.
There's difference between wali and mawla.
Wali. Fine. Okay, fine, don't interrupt. Okay. Yeah. Now, can we find any place where the Prophet said Ali is the wali? Okay. إن عليا مني وأنا منه وهو ولي كل مؤمن بعدي. And in another narration, وهو وليكم بعدي. Okay. More than 30 of your ulama have said this is sahih. Nasir al-Din al-Albani says Sahih ala Shart Muslim. It is Sahih Nasir al-Din al-Albani. إن عليا مني وأنا منه وهو ولي كل مؤمن بعدي. He is the wali of every believer after me. We know what wali means here. Okay. Albani says it's Sahih. Hakim al-Nishaburi says it's Sahih ala Sahihain. Okay. Al-Dhahabi says it's Sahih on the conditions of Bukhari and Muslim. Musnad Ahmad, Albani also says it's Sahih. So listen, brothers. Okay, let me speak. Okay. For us, as I told you, the Sunnah of the Prophet is what leads me to be a Shia of Ali and take him as the first Khalifa. I did not mention about the 12 Imams. I'm talking about who is the Khalifa after the Prophet, and that was the only subject, and I never jumped from that. And you've been jumping about. Now, all I say is, that how can you, as people who claim to follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, say that you follow the Sunnah of the Prophet while you reject all of this Sunnah and you find ways to run away. Wali, he said about Ali. Mawla, he said. Khalifa, he said. What more do you want him to do? Even a visual demonstration, he stands up, sit down ya Ali. Stands up again. Even if you bring someone who's good in drama, he can't do it better than this. 3 times he's standing just in case there's any confusion. Who is the Khalifa? Okay? Now for us, we ask why? One of these words that the Prophet used for Ali, why never any one of them came for anyone else? Why did the Prophet never say Khalifati about Abu Bakr, or Wali about Abu Bakr, or Mawla about anyone else? Why all of these words come only about Ali? One of them is enough to make you at least realize that there is some truth here we need to follow. We need to research. I'm not here to try and make someone Shia or Sunni. That's not my case. Okay? Right? So how does your heart, you interrupted me too many times, I'll take 30 seconds. Okay? How does your heart and conscience allow you?
Let him do what he wants. It's not for people we want.
You're imposing yourself. That's what you're doing.
Thank you.
No discussion.
Stop. Your time.
Would you like to go?
No.
Go ahead. Please.
Go, your time. I respect you.
No, I'll give you another minute.
No, I don't need it.
Leave it.
Okay.
It's polite.
Just leave it.
It's polite.
Alright, so here, the word wali is different to mawla, and this again khalt. This is a problem. المؤمنين والمؤمنات بعضهم أولياء بعض. In the Quran it says the mu'mins, the male mu'mins, male believers, and the female believers, both of them are awliya ba'd, and the mufrad of the word awliya is wali. Awliya means ally. Yeah. So you're saying that the Prophet Muhammad said about Ali that he's a wali. Of course he's a wali. Of course he's a wali. If we're all walis of each other, or meant to be walis of each other, the mu'minin and the mu'minat, we're all walis of each other, all allies of each other. Then you're telling me that Ali ibn Abi Talib is not going to be a wali? Min awla, min babi awla is going to be a wali. Of course he's going to be a wali. See, this is the problem here. He started with talking about imamah. He talked to me about running away. Even if let's say I run away, I'm a coward, I'm a weak. Yeah. If I run away, I have no ego. Like if I'm a coward, does that mean Sunnism is wrong? It's an ad hominem attack. So now he has to continue attacking me as a person. It's not a problem. I have no ego. Attack me. I'm nothing. You're right. I'm a coward. Having said that, number one. Number two. So this is khalt. First of all, we talked about imamah. He knew he couldn't prove it from the Quran or from the Sunnah Mutawatira, so he had to run away to khilafah, a point of agreement between the Sunni and the Shia. He had to run away from a point of disagreement to a point of agreement, because he knows that we'll agree with him on this. There should be khulafa after the Prophet. For example, who's disagreeing with this? Who you're framing it as a disagreement? It's not a disagreement. Now he's doing another khalt, another conflation, by saying that the word wali is mawla. Either he doesn't know, he's Arab himself, so either he doesn't know there's a difference, or he's intentionally trying to sabotage this debate by conflating words which are completely different from each other. Word wali means ally. Mawla, it actually comes from the root word meaning slave owner. وَالنَّارُ مَوْلَاهُمْ in the Quran. The nar, the hellfire, is a mawla for them. So you can have the hellfire as being the mawla. This is how linguistically the word can be used. Do you get it? The word wali can't be used for the hellfire. Now, having said this, these differences are very important to put forward. I am going to make the challenge again, okay? Here, we didn't start this discussion talking about khilafah. We didn't. It's not fair to say we did. You spoke to me on the phone. You said, I want to speak to you about, I want to continue. I said, do you want to speak about imamah? You said, yes. Is that correct?
I said khilafah, imamah,
no, you didn't say
whatever
khilafah.
You like.
Say wallahi, you said khilafah.
I said khilafah.
Well,
as well. I said all of them.
Kadhab. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. Kadhab.
You said recorded that apparently.
No, you're a liar. No, you're a liar. You said imamah. You spoke to me and you said you want to speak to me about imamah. Either you're lying and now doing taqiyya because you're allowed to do it in your religion, or you want to, or basically you're running away from the discussion because you know imamah is impossible to prove. So, look, we're in Speaker's Corner. I didn't come prepared. You came with your phone. I'm just asking you right now. Look, look at me. I'm empty-handed. I'm just asking you right now. The people are watching. Yeah, the people are watching. Please give us the foundational evidence base for your concept of imam. If not, people, we're all going to just disbelieve in what you have to say.
Okay. Now, for us, imamah is not from usul al-din. It's usul al-madhab. This is your challenge, and I'm asking you, and I'm answering your challenge. Okay. It's from usul al-madhab. The difference is that we don't impose it on other Muslims. We say you have to believe in tawheed, nubuwwah. Let me speak. You're taking my time as well. What's going on, bro? It was your rule to put time. Now you're interrupting me. What's going on? And you call me a liar.
Sorry. We're sorry.
And are you also sorry for calling me a liar and all that?
Anyway,
in any case, fine. Oh, subhanAllah. Okay, fine. Okay. So we believe in tawheed, nubuwwah, imamah, in tawheed, nubuwwah, ma'ad. Whoever disbelieves in these three is not Muslim. Now the rest of the two, adl and imamah, are from usul al-madhab. We believe in it for us. Like other also Sunni schools have their own usul madhab, like Jabriya, Sha'ara, and they have other usul. So rejecting imamah, okay, not knowing about imamah doesn't lead to kufr in Allah. No, it may lead to kufr in imamah if it has been proven to you. Fine? So we don't need to prove it from the Quran. We say it is clear for everyone. Hold on. No, don't interrupt me. It is clear. Don't interrupt me. Please, I'm taking on, you're breaking your own rule, bro. What's going on? SubhanAllah. Okay? But, see, they're not letting me speak. Let me speak. Please let me speak. Bro, tell your bro to please. Okay. All Muslims believe that there has to be a Khalifa after the Prophet. And we say it is the Sunnah of Allah since Adam till the Day of Judgment to appoint divine authorities. Did the Prophet Muhammad appoint? We see, as I have proven to everyone, that Prophet used Mawla, Wali, Khalifa for Imam Ali. Okay? Manzilat Haruna min Musa for Imam Ali. So he's appointing. People gave bay'ah in Ghadir Khum. He's appointing. So for us, Allama al-Halli has brought more than 2,000, I think, evidence about appointing Ali as the Khalifa. For us, because we follow the Sunnah of Allah in the Quran and we follow the Sunnah of the Prophet, it amounts to rejecting the Sunnah of the Prophet to say that Imam Ali was not the first Khalifa. That is why I am a Shia of Ali, because it is the Sunnah of the Prophet which leads me to be a Shia of Ali with all of these evidence. Bring me one case, as we said, one case where the Prophet said any of these words, Wali, Mawla, Khalifa, about anyone else. Why do they always come about Ali? Ali Khalifa, Ali Mawla, Ali Wali, again, how many times? What did the Prophet have to do to prove it to you? Okay, look into your heart and your conscience. Okay, this is between you and Allah. Are you really following the Sunnah of the Prophet? And reject all of these. For me, that paramounts to rejecting the Sunnah itself.
So if I find one, it's alright? If I find one example, that's it?
See, I'm interrupting you again.
Your time is up.
So I think that's it. I think. Alhamdulillah, that for the most part, this was a respectful discussion. At least I didn't accuse the other side. At least from one side, it was very respectful. No accusations of lying or anything like that. And I would say Imam Sadiq alayhi salam says, he was asked about what does it mean. We're finished. وإني لغفار لمن تاب وآمن. Yeah, fine. وإني لغفار لمن تاب وآمن وعمل صالحا ثم اهتدى. And I am repentful to the one who seeks repentance, is a believer and does good deeds, and then is guided. So he was asked, what does and then is guided mean? He said, and then guided to our wilaya Ahl Bayt. So before, so he's, yeah, exactly. So before wilaya, you are, stop.
No, you're not
Muslim. Stop. So before imamah,
you're not Muslim.
Before, stop. Aziz, stop, let me speak. Imam Sadiq, can you stop. Can I speak? Can I speak? Okay, let me answer. Hold on, stop, please. Can I speak? Can I speak?
No.
If it is proven to you undeniably that imamah is correct, and then you reject by arrogance,
it's very ambiguous.
This leads to kufr of imamah. Let me speak. This leads to kufr in imamah, not in Allah. Okay? So what does Imam Sadiq mean? What Imam Sadiq says, before you believe in wilaya, you are a believer, you are repenting and you're doing good deeds. So inshallah, You are brothers in faith with us, in heaven, all of us. We can agree to disagree.
If you know that
As we said. Hold on, stop.
Stop here.
If you know it's kufr in imam. If you know that the imam is appointed by Allah in imam, then this is kufr in Allah.
Okay. Let me just let them finish.
Allah billah, kufr billah.
He was a Shia. He was a Shia. And he's coming from a Shia. Yeah, he's Sunni now.
He's asking you a question.
Everyone's talking. Are you going to speak or
You already said it was
but he wanted 3 minutes.
Let's have another 2 minutes. Just give it 2 minutes. Hey, I'm happy with the, he said, give me one, this is exactly his statement.
Yeah, that's
Everyone
right.
heard it,
Yeah, we heard it.
He said, give me one example where the words, he said, Mawla, Khalifa, Wali, is used for other than Ali ibn Abi Talib. This was his challenge, wasn't it? Was that your challenge?
Yeah.
And if I was able to find that, then khalas, your whole argument is crumbled, isn't it? Yes or no? Yes, okay, that's what, that's what he said. That's what he asked. Okay. In the Quran it says, that I'm a wali, actually. I'm a wali to him and he's a wali to me. Your argument is crumbled already. I'm not even talking about Umar ibn Khattab. I don't need to go to Umar.
Ordinary
I'm a wali.
Ordinary.
I'm a wali. I'm a wali. You're talking about imam. I'll give you a verse in the Quran that means I'm an imam. It says in Surah Al-Furqan, chapter 25 of the Quran, رب هب لنا من أزواجنا وذرياتنا قرة أعين وجعلنا للمتقين إماما.
Allahumma ameen.
May Allah give us, as the people that listen to the Quran, good offspring and good progeny, and make us to the muttaqin imams. So I'm an imam and I'm a wali. What's the difference now, according to you said you want the words to be used, yeah? I'm not going to go to Umar al-Khattab because if you want me to go to Umar al-Khattab, you're finished. It's mentioned in Nahj al-Balagha, in your books, you're finished, wallah, you're finished. I'm not going to go to my books, I'm going to go to your books.
Yeah.
It's mentioned in Nahj al-Balagha, yeah, it's your main book of hadith, one of the main ones, yeah, which is the Aqwal of Ali ibn Abi Talib. That Ali ibn Abi Talib, he said himself, that I was elected, listen to the words of Ali, I was elected, not chosen by appointment by Allah, I was elected after Umar and Abu Bakr and Uthman, and they called me as they called them, and they called them imams. Oh my God.
What's the Arabic? What's the Arabic?
Samawhu imama. Samawhu imama.
Arabic.
I'll get you that I'll put it in the description box. Well, no, I did it in the previous discussion. You can find it. It's in the previous discussion with the guy. I had it on my notes, but now I don't. So you can go to the previous discussion. It's there. The previous discussion with the brother. So here, he made a challenge. Give me something where it says Mawla, Wali, or Imam or whatever, or Khalifa. I gave him better. I gave him Imam. But who's saying it? Ali ibn Abi Talib according to our books? No, according to your books.
That's very good.
Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Let me answer you.
Wa barakatuh.
Let me answer you about Imam Ali, bro. Let me answer about Imam Ali. No.
He's Shia. He wants to ask questions.
Let me answer him.
He used to be.
Let me answer him, then you ask. Let me answer him, then you ask.
But you already done said it was finished.
But
You done said it was finished. You had to say he's
Very good. Okay, thank you.
No, but they used to be Shia, and I want to ask you.
Okay, good for him.
They used to be.
Yalla.
Very good for him.
Ask me. We don't have time. Just ask me a question.
Basically, and the reason I can't follow Shia Islam is because he has just asked you to prove Imam from the Quran, yeah? Imam from the Quran, the 12
Did you used to be a Shia yourself?
I used to be a Shia. I used to be a Shia.
So you left the Shia?
I left the Shia.
Why did you leave it?
I'm gonna answer
From your last debate, bro.
because yeah. So he has asked you.
from the
He
Quran,
has
yeah?
asked you to name the 12 Imams. Yeah. You've just narrated something from Imam Jafar al-Sadiq. Yeah. But you can't give us a narration, yeah, or any proof in the Quran that they were Imams. So how can we take what Imam Jafar al-Sadiq said as reality?
Answer one question that he asked. One answer.
Let me answer.
He did not answer anything.
I'll answer both of you. About Imam Ali in Nahj al-Balagha, he was writing a letter to Muawiyah. This is called حاججوهم بما ألزموا به أنفسهم. Talk to them in their own logic. The logic of Muawiyah is elections. No, he wasn't lying. He's saying this is your logic. This is your logic, ya Muawiyah. You accepted elections for Abu Bakr. Hold on, let me answer you. He said إذا اجتمعت المهاجرين والأنصار على رجل وسموه إماما كان ذلك لا إله إلا الله. Am I right? Am I right? Was Imam Ali part of Muhajirin? Is he one of them? Was he in Shura? Was he in the Shura of Saqifa? No. So the Muhajirin and Ansar did not join together, all of them, and except.
So he wasn't. He was a muhajir.
He was a muhajir. He was a muhajir.
Of course he was a muhajir.
Of course, but he was not in the Saqifa, was he? He's saying if the Muhajirin and Ansar agree all of them together on someone, then he becomes. Hold on, let me ask you. No. It's true. Okay. He's answering to Muawiyah based on his logic. You accepted Abu Bakr based on election, and Omar and Uthman. Now when it comes to me, you're interrupting. It's 5 people versus 1. How is this fair? You're not allowing me to answer. You're not allowing me to answer. You're not allowing me to answer. Your question, bro. Have you too long? Imam Mahdi, more than 6,000 ahadith. Can you show me from the Quran? No. But 6,000 ahadith about Imam Mahdi. That your own ulama say if you disbelieve in Imam Mahdi, you are kafir. Why? Because it amounts to rejecting the Sunnah. All of the Sunnah. Why? 6,000 ahadith more. So we don't need to prove the names. If we brought the names to you, there's 100 people called Ali, Ja'far. How would we know? Allah brought us the characteristics in the Quran, so there's no confusion.
This is my point. This is my point. Can I?
Why not?
Okay, that's it. I think that's fine, Habibi. I'm happy that this was respectful, at least from our side. I'm happy I didn't accuse you of lying or having anything evil in your heart. And Alhamdulillah, we believe that you are our Muslims. We believe that you are our Muslim brothers in faith. As we said, Imam Ja'far Sadiq says, even before wilayah, you are mu'min, you are repentant, if you are doing good deeds. Alhamdulillah, we can agree to disagree, bro. It's fine. As long as we have brotherly love, as long as we're not doing takfir.